In 1945, atomic bombs leveled Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Since then, despite decades of proxy wars, espionage, and global tension, no superpower has fired a nuclear weapon in combat. This peace relies on a ruthless logic called mutually assured destruction, or MAD. The rule is brutal. To stop an attack, a nation must prove that even if hit first, it can still completely wipe the attacker out. Mathematician John Nash described this condition as a Nash equilibrium. In a game where launching a weapon guarantees your own total destruction, neither side gains an advantage by pulling the trigger. To maintain this standoff, nations must keep a world-ending military machine constantly ready to fire. If a rival nation launches a missile, the first tripwire is crossed in space. Satellites equipped with infrared sensors pointing back at Earth instantly detect the massive heat signature of the rocket engines. Minutes later, giant early warning radar installations near the Arctic Circle catch the incoming warheads as they trace their flight path over the North Pole. This tracking data floods into military command centers, leaving national leaders with less than 15 minutes to decide how to respond. Military strategy dictates a protocol known as launch on warning. Because land-based missiles take roughly 30 minutes to reach their targets, a defending nation must fire its own weapons before the enemy's warheads actually detonate. Waiting to verify the attack risks having your own weapons destroyed in the ground. The timeline is so compressed that there's almost zero margin to investigate a potential false alarm. In September 1983, Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov faced exactly this nightmare when his computer reported 5 American intercontinental ballistic missiles were inbound. Protocol demanded Petrov report the incoming strike, which likely would have triggered a full Soviet retaliation. He guessed the system was malfunctioning and chose to ignore the sirens, preventing a nuclear apocalypse. In a defense grid built around automation and hair-trigger reflexes, a single person trusting their judgment over the machine's readout is sometimes the only safety net. As modern ballistics become even faster, the window for human intuition is rapidly shrinking. If a launch order is given, a nation deploys its second strike capability. To ensure these retaliatory weapons survive the initial attack, they are split across 3 different vectors, known as the nuclear triad. The first leg relies on land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, also known as ICBMs. These are massive rockets stored in hardened underground silos, engineered to launch within minutes of receiving a code. The second leg is in the air. Strategic bombers can carry nuclear payloads high above the clouds. Because planes can be scrambled quickly and recalled mid-flight, they offer a flexible, airborne failsafe. However, land and air forces share a critical vulnerability. Enemy satellites can map out fixed silos and air bases, making it possible to target them in a coordinated first strike. That brings us to the third leg of the triad. Deep below the surface of the world's oceans, nuclear-powered submarines continuously patrol the waters, undetected by radar. If an adversary managed to vaporize every silo and airstrip on the surface, these submarines would rise from the depths to unleash a devastating barrage. Russia guarantees retaliation with a system known as dead hand. If sensors detect nuclear detonations while communications with military leadership are cut, this computer protocol automatically fires the remaining missile stockpile. The triad and automated dead man switches ensure a nation can still fight and destroy an adversary from beyond the grave, rendering a first strike pointless. This absolute guarantee of an unpreventable counterpunch is the reason no leader has pressed the launch button today. However, emerging technologies threaten the 80-year-old equation. Hypersonic missiles fly too fast and low for traditional radars to track, while sophisticated cyberattacks could theoretically blind the early warning computers entirely. Even with these new vulnerabilities, the core logic of total mutual destruction remains the world's primary shield against nuclear conflict. Since 1945, the perfectly engineered machinery of total annihilation has served as the world's most effective engine for peace.